was just beginning.
We can continue.
Thank you very much for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to say something about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his movement, about Radha Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he's not looking for Radha Krishna, and he came to give the Yuridharma, the chanting of the holy names, and specifically he came to give Braj Bhakti. He didn't come to give Vaikuntha Bhav. Of course, if somebody wants Vaikuntha Bhav, he can have it also. But specifically, he came to give Braj Bhakti. So before speaking, usually we do Kirtan. Kirtan was already done. And usually we chant some mantras known as Mangalacharan, invocation, auspicious invocation. Mangalacharan, usually that is explained by Krishnadas Kaviraj. When you recite these Mangalacharan verses, the subject matter is being discussed, Vastu, Yadesh, and then after that, offering of obeisances is there. And then after the Ashirvad, the blessings are included. And usually we chant many verses, but sometimes we don't have so much time. And then we may just chant one verse. There's one verse which I like very much and which I like to share, because usually also it is mentioned, if you give something to somebody, you should give something which you like and which you like to share. So you can repeat after me. You fold your hands and you can repeat. Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikayai Tadanaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. So very simple verse, just like the shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita, Anushtup, Chanda, so easy to learn. But everyone is included. The spiritual master, so obeisances to the spiritual master, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srimati Radharani, her abode and associates, obeisances to Krishna and Krishna's devotees and all the devotees. That may be chanted in the morning while waking up, or in the evening before taking rest, or the ladies before cooking, they offer respect to Guru Garanga, Radharani. And usually I tell all the children to learn this mantra who are going to school. So I see a few children are here, all going to school. Yes? Okay, good. And everyone is topper in the school? Good marks in the school? Yes, you're topper? But you're already initiated, so you're doing good.
He's also tougher.
He's tougher also, but he's humble. And so then I tell the devotees of the children, you may learn this verse. And we recite every day. And before the exam, you can recite this mantra and you will get good marks. So, but even for the adults, because challenges are there in life and sometimes we have to focus, and then that mantra may help. And as I mentioned, sometimes we don't have so much time. We are asked to speak for a few minutes. And if you chant the Mangalacharan and it lasts for 3 minutes, then you may only have 2 minutes to speak. So you can recite this mantra and then you may speak. So if anyone has a good memory, they have memorized the verse. Anyone? You have good memory? So you can remember the verse? Or you already know the verse? He told you? Right? He told you? Yeah, Narendra told me. I told him. He's telling others, that is the process. We hear and then we tell others. So I've been told I should say something about Rupa Goswami. And we are known as Rupa Vaishnavas, followers of Rupa Goswami. Srila Prabhupada, when he was reciting the Mangalacharan, he used to chant the mantra for his spiritual master, or general mantra for the spiritual master, Om Jnana Timirandasya, and so on. And the second mantra was Sri Chaitanya Manopistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. So we take shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Swami. Sri Chaitanya Manopistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. So he established, he manobished the desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this world. So we take shelter of Rupa Goswami. And we are known as Rupa Vaishnavas, followers of Rupa Goswami, as practicing devotees. And then if one is more advanced, one is highly advanced, then one may take shelter of Rupa Goswami, who is Rupa Manjari and Krishna Lila. So, assisting Srimati Radharani in her service to Krishna. There's one book, many books by Rupa Goswami, but I just remembered one book because I was reciting this verse. Gurave Gaurachandraya, Radhikaya Itanaraya, Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tatvaktaya. Who knows the verse? A few devotees know. Okay. Okay, you also? Good. Okay. So you can chat to your friends. Okay? And those who want to learn, we can recite it one more time after, or you can record it. So sometimes devotees ask, well, where from is this verse? And then we have to say, author unknown. But many, this verse is very well known amongst the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And so there's one book by Rupa Goswami Padyavali, which is a collection of maybe almost 300 verses by Rupa Goswami, and verses which he liked. So he recorded, and the book is available. And of course, first we have to read Prabhupada's books. Bhagavad Gita. Everyone read Bhagavad Gita, right? Yes. Srimad Bhagavatam, you should read. Everyone read the Bhagavatam? The whole Bhagavatam? Not yet. Yes. Who read? A few devotees. And then Chaitanya Charitamrita, who read Chaitanya Charitamrita? So then we may also read other books with the permission of the Spirit Master. And Prabhupada has mentioned also in his books that we should read the books of the Acharyas. Like Gauranga Polite Habe Pulaka Sharira, there in this song he has mentioned. Or he has mentioned in one letter, anyone who wants to know about Bhagavan, Bhakta Bhakti should read this book of Sanatana Goswami, Variyat Bhagavatamrita. But first we have to read Prabhupada's books. And I read the Bhagavatam in English 6 times.
Very good.
And Chaitanya Charitamrita, my favorite book, I read 12 times. In English. And in Hindi, I read the Bhagavatam 2 times. And the CC also. So, and I read, of course, all the shlokas in Bengali because I learned some Bengali also. It took me a little more time than Hindi, but because I felt I should read in Bengali also. And because we are going to Mayapur almost every year, so I like to speak the language where I am. So in this book, He has mentioned so many beautiful verses of different authors. And maybe 200 verses are there in his writing, the author also. Different authors, previous acharyas, even contemporary saints of his time. And 100 slokas he is writing, author unknown. But he still collected because they are beautiful verses and because he saw that they are actually, according to our understanding, acceptable. So we are followers of Srila Prabhupada, and who directed us to take shelter of Rupa Goswami also. And therefore, he very much suggested the devotees in the beginning of their lives, when they join a Krishna's consciousness movement, to first of all read or hear the nectar of devotion, which is from Rupa Goswami. In Sanskrit, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So, Bhakti Ras. So, Bhakti devotional service, Rasa, there's a taste there. Like we know, for example, 6 tastes are there in Hindi. Ras, so sweet, salty, sour, pungent, astringent, and the bitter, yeah. We don't like bitter, so put it but it is there sometimes. But all the 6 are actually good for the body. But of course, the salty items we take more, sweet we should take a little less if possible, and the bitter we take a little bit, astringent we take a little bit. Bhakti Ras Amrit. So the transcendental mellows which are there in regards to the devotional service and relationship with Krishna is like nectar. And that nectar is not very, it's not small, but it is big. It is like an ocean. So we're supposed, as he's writing in the beginning of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that the devotees are swimming in the ocean of devotional service like the fishes. Or the big fishes or small fishes. The big fishes are the big devotees, the small fishes are the small devotees. And they all swim in the ocean of love. So the first verse is Akila Rasamrita Sindhu, Simara Ruchi Ruda Tarakapali, Kvalito, Shamar Lalito, Radha Priyan, Vidur Jayati, all glories to the moon. Vidur Jayati, all glories to the moon, which Krishna Chandra, Krishna himself, is the moon. And actually it's a beautiful comparison because Krishna is darkish in complexion, but is actually most beautiful. And his face is compared to the full moon sometimes, or his whole body even. And when you see the full moon, there's a refulgence there. But at the same time, it is not very bright, not like the sun. Sun is very bright. Of course, Krishna's name is sometimes also Krishna Surya, but more Krishna Chandra than Krishna Surya. Krishna Surya, when he's embraced by Srimati Radharani, then he's like the sun, because she's golden in complexion. And so, and actually, in the past time also, sometimes Krishna's changing his complexion. Radha Chintanivesanam Yasya Kante Vilobida Say Krishna Charanam Bande Radha Lingada Vigraham. So sometimes Krishna is thinking about Srimati Radharani. And then he's so much absorbed that his complexion is changing. So one time, so in Vrindavan, many times it happens, especially when the full moon is there, or full moon night. the Krishna is in the moon and oh, today we can do Rasa Lila at night time. Then he's playing the flute and of course he has given some sandesh, some message already to the gopis to meet somewhere. And when everyone is sleeping, Krishna is leaving the house and Radharani is leaving her house and the other gopis also, they meet Krishna. And then there's a wonderful dance. So see Rasa Mandala, the Rasa Mandal at the bank of the Jamuna, in Vrindavan known as Vamsivat. So there's a vat bridge there, the banyan tree is there. So full moon is there and at the bank of the Jamuna, the sand is there, Ramyastan, very pleasurable. The breeze is there and also very conducive. And Krishna performs a Rasa Lila. But then at one point Radharani is seeing so many gopis are there and she only wanted to dance with her friends and she left the Rasa Lila. And then Krishna also left and then the Rasa Lila stopped. And then they're meeting nearby place, Sringarvat. So there's a temple there of Gonitai. And so some decoration was there, Sringar of Radharani and Krishna. But then Krishna leaves Radharani also and he goes to Imlitala, which is not so far from there. And then he was absorbed in remembering Radharani. And of course, Radharani the gopis also remembering Krishna. But he still kept their complexion. But Krishna, so he took this golden complexion and he was there. And then the gopis are going there and seeing, oh, this beautiful person is there, golden complexion. And we feel so much attraction, but usually only attracted to Krishna, nobody else. And he looks similar to Krishna, but golden in complexion. And no flute, and no peacock feather.
Gaurang.
That is indication of Gaura Lila.
Sure.
So then he come closer, and closer and closer, and where the Radharani is practically in front of Krishna, then Krishna, he feels that, and then he opens his eyes, and he sees Radharani. And then of course he's seeing Radharani, then he's not remembering Radharani, because he's seeing her. And then his Shamram complexion is there again. And so, wonderful pastimes are there of Krishna. Actually, there are unlimited pastimes. But the Acharyas, by Mahaprabhu's mercy, so by Mahaprabhu's mercy, actually, we come to know about these wonderful pastimes of Radha Krishna specifically, but of Krishna and Braj and all the Brijvasis, Maria Yashoda, Nanda Baba, Krishna's friends. Krishna has many friends also. There's many gopis are there and many friends. Yeah. So, any friends' name you know? Krishna's friends? Madhumangal is his best friend. Yes? No. He's a good friend, but Madhumangal is from a Brahmana family. He's the son of Sandipani Muni, yes. And so, actually, Sandipani Muni's mother is Purnamasi, yes. Yeah, that's why you already got Brahman initiation. Good boy. So one point she said they were in Avantipur, Ujjain, which is in Madhya Pradesh, 3 hours away from Vrindavan. And she told her son, because she was, of course, she's a great devotee in the potency of the Lord, manifestation of Yoga Maya. I want to go to Braj and spend some time there. Sandipani Muni, okay, then you may go. And then his children, Sandipani Muni, his son, Sandipani Muni's son, Madhumangal, and he has a sister, what's her name? Nandimuki, yeah, you know everything, huh? Okay, he told you? Yeah, okay, good.
Now it's all his credit.
So then they said, oh, we also want to go. And then Sanipani Mani, oh, you also want to go? Yes, yes, we want to go with our grandmother. In Hindi they say Daddy, Daddy Ma. From the father's side, the grandmother is Daddy, and from the mother's side, Nani. So Daddy, they want to go with Daddy. And then Sanipani Muni said, okay, fine, and then they went to Braj. So he's the son of a Brahmana. But still they're good friends, but he has more friends who are very close. And that is explained. They're just like Krishna's self, Krishna's intelligence, Krishna's mind, and Krishna's body. They're known as Vasudam, Sudam. Not the same Sudam who was there in Avantipur. That is another, also Brahmana. And Sudama Vipra, the Brahmana. So he was there together with Krishna in Avantipur. Later on, with Sanipani Muni, in the Gurukul. So that is another Sudam. And then Sridam, the elder brother of Srimati Radharani, and Vasudam. They're very close.
Kinky.
Yeah, Kinkini, yeah. So they're like the best friends, the same age. But there are others also in that category, also very close. 4 more, they're 8. And then they're 8, they're a little younger, but they're also very dear to Krishna. And usually they are there and then they're helping Krishna to meet Srimati Radharani. So one of them is Subal, famous Subal. And then Arjun and Ujjwal, Gandharv, Stoka Krishna, and three more. Can't remember all of them. And they performed their wonderful pastimes. So that is so explained in this first verse that Krishna is the Rasamrita Murti, the embodiment of all transcendental mellow ras. But then in the first verse, the gopis are mentioned, and the names are given also because there are 5 kinds of gopis. So the most here, of course, is Srimati Radharani, Radha Priyam, but then Lalita Vishaka are mentioned also. Lalita is in Radharani's group. Shama is a friend of Srimati Radharani, and then the other gopis are there who are neutral in the relationship. Because ultimately, that is what Mahaprabhu also wanted to give. Unadujjolaras, of course, that is a high topic, and first we have to understand we are not this body, we are spiritual, and we perform devotional service. But also Rupa Goswami has mentioned, and so I'm bringing this point up because Mahaprabhu came to give Braj Bhakti, and then we have to understand, and then we can do proper sadhana. And then more specifically, because he's not different from Radha and Krishna, you want to give the loving sentiments of the gopis, so headed by Srimati Radharani. And then he's explaining about the process of devotional service and following Vaidhi Bhakti, the rules and regulations, so that we may be fixed and we may be able to purify our existence, our consciousness, and then we become qualified to make more advancement and enter the next stage of devotional service, following the footsteps of the inhabitants of Krishna and Braj. In the Bhagavatam, in the Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada is mentioned in regards to Maria Yashoda, how she's serving Krishna. And in regards to Damodar Lila, how Srimati Radha, how Yashodamati, Maria Yashoda is taking care of Krishna, breastfeeding him. The famous pastime is there, and the milk is boiling over, and then she's leaving Krishna down. to take care of the milk, which she will use to make some sweet to offer to Krishna. So Krishna is Atmaram, is self-satisfied. He doesn't need anybody else for his satisfaction. He's Bhagavan, the source of everything, of all the spiritual material worlds, of all the different personalities of Godhead, of all the energies, is the source of everything. Paramanant is the source of all transcendental bliss. Param Anant, the highest bliss. But then he performs his pastimes with his dear devotees, and in this material world also known as the Namitika Lila, and he appears as a small boy. But it doesn't mean he's not in Golok, he's in Golok, in Kishoravasta, a fresh pre-youth, 15 years old, and he's always there performing his pastimes with his associates, but then he's coming in this world to deliver the fallen conditioned souls. But first of all, performing his pastimes in Braj to attract the devotees and to give the opportunity of those who have already performed devotional service for many lifetimes that they can enter the Lila, meet the Lila Pravesh, and then they can join Krishna's pastimes. Even we may realize Krishna in this lifetime and our own self and our relationship with Krishna, but we cannot enter the Lila when we are in this form of a practicing devotee. But we have to go where Krishna performs his pastimes after giving up his body, and then we can enter the Lila of Krishna. So Prabhupada so Krishna is there as a small boy, and then so he was happy taking the mother's breast milk, and this way satisfying his devotee. He's the source of everything, but he is a mother and father in the past time. And so she was happily breastfeeding him, but then she had to take care of the milk because it was overboiling. And she put him down, and then she was taking care, and Krishna was transcendently angry. But he's fully peaceful. He's Sarvagya, always, he knows everything, always. But then in the past time, his mukta also is bewildered by his own potency. He becomes bewildered, so the pastime can go on, the wonderful pastimes with his associates. So he was angry, and then he went to the other room and broke some pots. And then Maria Yashoda comes and, oh, where's Krishna? Oh, he's there. He broke some pots. She's taking a stick and running behind Krishna. And fear personified is afraid of Krishna. Everyone else is afraid of Krishna, all the demons. Like Kamsa and all the demons, they were afraid when he was grown up. But he's afraid of Maria Yashoda, and he's running of fear. Out of fear, he's running away. And his small legs is running. Maria Yashoda is running behind him with a stick. And he's afraid she has a stick. And it's not that he's playing, he's doing drama. Like we are doing drama, the children are doing drama. Like yesterday, drama was there. And Sita and Ashokvatika and Hanuman. So, drama. All the dramas are there, life drama. And the children. So, but Krishna is, of course, it is also kind of drama, his pastime, Lila, his pastime. But when he's afraid of Maria Yashoda, he's really afraid for a little while. And even so much so that tears are coming from his eyes. And so in India, the ladies are putting this kajal, black ointment, around the eyes. They become more beautiful. And sometimes you put a dot on the child, on the forehead here, on the side or here, to protect from the evil eyes of others, as a kind of protection. So that it is put many times on the children also. And even not only the girls, but boys also. It looks beautiful. So Maria Yashoda has put around his eyes, Krishna's eyes. And so he's crying. and the tears are coming from his eyes, black tear, because it's mixed with the ointment. So, and then she's catching. And the gopis are saying, throw away the stick, Krishna is afraid. He's crying. And so she's throwing away the stick, but I have to, okay, I won't beat him, but I should teach him a lesson. And she's trying to bind him. But the rope is short by 2 fingers. And at that point, Krishna is Sarvagya, he knows everything. Oh, she wants to bind me. Okay, let's see if she can. But she cannot because it's Bhagavan, he's the Supreme Lord. And she's taking more rope, and still she cannot bind him. She added more rope, but still it was short 2 fingers. So, and he started perspiring, almost crying, because she cannot bind this little boy. But then, because of her endeavor, so then Krishna said, okay, now she can bind me. And then Krishna can bind her.
Yeah.
So Prabhupada is writing, those who have this parental affection or parental feelings towards Krishna, they should study very carefully how Maria Yashoda is serving Krishna. What is her mood? So that is explained in the Bhagavatam, in the 10th canto, the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Then the different relationships with Krishna are explained. Like even the animals, they have so much love. And so from one point of view, it is neutral because, for example, the cows, they cannot embrace Krishna. So, but at the same time, so they are neutral from that point of view because they are in this form of the trees. But in other places, it is mentioned that there are 4 relationships in Krishna. Shantaras is not mentioned because they have feelings also in cows. And they want to embrace Krishna also, but they cannot because they are in their form. But Krishna is reciprocating and embracing the cows.
Hari Hari.
And the calves.
Hari.
Even now, we have heard that since some pictures also, in Europe, maybe in America also, there's a kind of thing fondling the cows. It is also in America.
Yes.
They say it's very, which is true, especially cows. If you are nice to them, that will be very good for you. There's a reciprocation there. Especially in Braj, the cows are special. But even here, and if you're kind to them, there is a reciprocation there. And so the Krishna is embracing the cows and the calves. And all the cows are thinking, I want to give my milk to Krishna. And they're waiting. Of course, Krishna has some favorite cows from whom he's taking the milk. But the others also sometimes he will take their milk. So big job for Krishna to reciprocate with everyone. But he's Bhagavan. And he can, just like the sun. In India still, there are millions of people. Every morning, they're offering water to the sun. Offering pranam and chanting sometimes Gayatri. Brahma Gayatri, also Bhuva Swaha, and so on. And offering water. And the sun is reciprocating. And we can feel. And of course now in India, so they do early morning. In the winter they do a little later because early morning is cold. But then a little later is pleasant. And then feel the warmth of the sun even in the winter. But in the summer we do early morning because later on it is very hot. 47, 48. How many Fahrenheit is it?
110.
110 in Vrindavan at this time, May, June. So they will offer that, and everyone can pray at the same time, and the sun is reciprocating with everyone at the same time. Similarly, Krishna is reciprocating with everyone. Like when Krishna is going with the cows and the calves, and his friends to the pasturing grounds after a good breakfast, big breakfast. And so then he's sitting down and all the boys are around him. He's the center of everyone's life. Then he's just like the sun. And everyone is looking, oh, Krishna is looking at me, and Krishna is trying as much as possible to reciprocate with everyone. And like even in our time, so mother was giving a lunch bag. Here also they have lunch bag for the children. Yeah. They go to school and then they have something to take with them, and then they're asking each other, what your mother brought? Nowadays pizza or pasta or something. So also the friends of Krishna, what your mother brought? Show me. And then Krishna is showing, oh, give me a little bit. And then Krishna sometimes is taking with his own hand and giving to his friends. And they also take from theirs and give to Krishna. And it is just so much wonderful loving exchanges there. So that is there in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the different loving sentiments of the cows, the servants, the friends, like the servants also in Nanda Bhavan. Krishna's father is known as Brajaraj, the king of Braj. Of course, Krishna is also known as Brajaraj because he's the actual king of Braj. But his father is taking that position also. There are 5 brothers actually. And he's the middle one. So first, after the father left, the eldest one was the king of Braj. And Krishna was small and then he grew up. And anyone had so much love for Krishna. Naturally, like you have a magnet and you have some pieces of iron, they automatically go. So everyone was feeling so much love for Krishna. Even they have their own children, but they had more love for Krishna than their own children. And so everyone is seeing, and then like in India especially, there's a panchayat. So the elders, they come together in the village and they discuss the problems and how to solve the problems. So the 5 brothers are there, and Krishnavana Maharaj and his brothers and others, elders, and they discuss different things. And then one point they discussed well, and the eldest son was saying that everyone is loving Krishna so much, and everything is centered around Krishna, and then of course his father and mother. So actually I think that Nanda, my younger brother, he should be the king of Braj. And Nanda Baba was saying, no, you, my elder brother, you have to be the king. It is natural. Then he was saying, no, everyone loves Krishna, your son, more than anybody else. And so everyone is going to your house, to your palace, all the boys, and we also sometimes go there, you should be the king. And all the others saying, yes, you should be the king. And then he became the king of Braj. Sometimes then they are discussing some other things, and then one time one of the elders was saying to Nanda Maharaj, Nanda Baba, so many uncommon things have happened around Krishna, and always somehow although some demons came, but always nothing happens to Krishna miraculously. And he's like very special. He must be, maybe he's a demigod. And he came as your son. Or maybe we even heard when the name giving ceremony was there by Garga Muni, that maybe it's an incarnation of the Lord. So you should respect him very nicely. And Nanda Baba, yes, you're right. So don't chastise him too much, because he must be demigod or incarnation of the Lord or a great soul. And everyone went, and Nanda Baba, okay, you all said, yes, you're right. What is his thinking? But in Krishna, sometimes he's eating with the left hand, but he should eat with the right hand. And he's going to others' houses, and he's stealing butter. Praje prasidam navanita choram kapangananam chadu ula choram maneka janmachita papa choram choragaranganyam purusham namam. It's the greatest of thieves. He's a thief and he's not a thief, because his Bhagavan is the Supreme Lord and everything belongs to him. Bhagdarangi tapa samsara lokam maheshwaram. Sriram Sarvabhutanam Yatva Mam Tanti Varichyati. If you want peace, you should understand that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So everything belongs to him. So therefore, and even if you go to Braj now, you go to different devotees' houses, you say, oh, you have a nice house. They say, it's not my house, it's Krishna's house. Everyone will say. And not only that, but the gopis, the churning butter, the churning the yoga to make butter, and they think it would be nice if Krishna would come to my house. I could offer him some butter and mishri. That would be nice. And so Krishna is there in the heart of everyone. Okay, they're calling me, so I'm coming. And he's coming, but he's not taking, not asking, but he's stealing. He's stealing and not stealing, because they're calling him, and because everything belongs to him anyhow. And then he's stealing and then running away and laughing. And they're going to complain to Maria Soda. You naughty boy, he came to my house and he stole some butter. And then Maria Soda perplexed, and we have everything at home. Why you have to go and steal? We have butter at home. So there's a loving exchange is there. So with all the Brajavasis. So Rupa Goswami is explained there in Nectar of Devotion that what is the mood of the friends, the parents, the beloved gopis, the servants, and like in the house, the big palace is there. And so there's a need of somebody to sweep. So there's a sweeper there and mopping the floor. And even sometimes they cut Krishna's hair a little bit. A little bit. There's no need, but still, there's a barber there. And then, of course, there's a servant who is making pan, tambul, and the pan leaves, and inside there the betel nuts are crushed. They're crushed and some spices are added and folded together, the pan leaf, and Krishna likes that. So he's making that. Rakta, Patra, the names. And so they're serving, and so much loving reciprocation is there. Because but they're servants in the house. So in front of the elders, there's a kind of formal relationship. But then sometimes when they're not seeing the parents, then Krishna is putting his arm around the Raktak and Patrak like good friends. And they're so happy. So the loving exchange is there with everyone in Braj. And even the trees and the creepers, the parrots, and they have love, and Krishna is reciprocating. So parents are there in the morning, they're waking up, and Radha Krishna there in the forests of Braj. Sometimes they're there, bring the babies, telling them to wake up. Parrots, they can talk. Here you also have parrots in America. You have parrots? Not so much. But in Europe, you can buy parrots. Even in my childhood, we had a kind of parrot, and we keep in the cage. And you can teach them something. And even we saw videos, and the parent is saying, Haribol, Haribol, or Krishna, Krishna, or maybe Hare Krishna. You can teach him a few things, maybe one small line. How are you? And you say, fine, and how are you? I'm fine too. But not much more. But there in Golok, the parents, they can glorify Krishna like anything. Better than we can. They're so expert. So the male and female, Shuk is there, male, and Sari female. And they all have a name. Like we all have a name, right? Everyone has a name. And of course, so the parrots also have a name. One of the parrots' name is Daksha. Daksha means expert in what? In glorifying Krishna. And then female parrots, one is Manjubhashini, speaking very softly, and she is glorifying Srimati Radharani. So, and there are even monkeys there. Anyone who's been Vrindavan? And we have seen the monkeys there, plenty of monkeys. So some of you have classes. Anyone's class has been taken? Yeah, many have, most of you. Classes are gone. Be careful. Hey, my classes. And then you have to give a banana or some cookie. Or they like fruity also. You know fruity? Small bottle. And then they drink. But there, because in Golok there are no glasses, we don't need glasses. And they don't steal. Krishna is stealing and then he's giving to the monkeys. But they are there with Krishna. One of the monkeys' name is Dadi Loba. Dadi means Dahi, yogurt. And Loba is greedy for that. So Krishna is giving him. So that is described there, and so in this way we can see the mood of this. And then in purified consciousness, then naturally some attraction will be there towards Krishna. In friendship or parental affection or conjugal relationship or just in servitorship. And so many other books are there, which has written Stavamala. Mala means a garland, Stava means some prayers are there. So many prayers are there, and it is like a garland of prayers and glorification of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and glorification, of course, there are even 3 Chaitanya Ashtaka, glorification of Mahaprabhu, and glorification of Krishna, and glorification of Radharani, Radhika Ashtakam, and so on. So that is, and so these books are actually very important for us. First we read the books given by Srila Prabhupada, and then later on we may read also some other books like beautiful prayers are there, which are given by Rupa Goswami for us to recite and to then glorify and offer our prayers. So different kinds of prayers are there. So even with your own words or consciousness, you can reveal your mind. If you have difficulties, you can call out to Krishna. And of course, usually we don't try to ask for anything for ourselves, but we go to serve Krishna. And we pray for how we can serve Krishna. But at the same time, sometimes something is there and then whom to approach. And then Krishna is there, our best friend. Sometimes even you have some relationship in this world, even with friends, but then somehow, sometimes it is broken. But Krishna's relationship is never broken. That is eternal. And is always there to help us. So then sometimes we may also approach him, some help, and then we can offer our own prayers. But if we chant the prayers which are given by the acharyas, then Krishna will immediately be so happy. Oh, he's chanting the prayers of my dear Rupa Goswami. And then he will recognize us. So very beautiful prayers are there. So by reading these books or by hearing about Rupa Goswami and his wonderful life, how he also met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Prayag, and he got actually, and for 10 days Mahaprabhu spoke to him and told him then to write books for the devotees, for the practicing devotees, and to excavate the lost holy places. And when he was in Braj, then so Braj was covered over by trees and bushes, and due to influence of time, sometimes the holy place becomes covered, and even, of course, the people become covered, and they forget about Krishna. And so, like Mahaprabhu's time, he came to Braj and he was touring all the holy places in Braj, and then he went to Govardhan. He saw Govardhan Chila. He was embracing the Govardhan Chila, remembering Krishna. Also tears coming from the eyes. And then he was looking for Radhakund and Chamakund. But nobody knew Radhakund, Chamakund, they didn't know. Then in the fields he saw 2 small ponds there. And what is the name of these ponds here? Kalikund and Gorikund. Kali means darkish in color, and Gori a little lighter in color. Kalikund and Gorikund. He took bath in the black one first, and then he did Gauri Kund, and he declared this is Radha Kund and Shama Kund. Radha Kund, Shama Kund, the king.
Yeah.
So then, after staying there for 2 months, and so actually he didn't stay in Braj, he stayed in Akrur Ghat, at the border of Braj, because he's Krishna himself, and of course feeling so much separation from the gopis, so it was difficult for him to stay in Braj. And because he's golden in complexion, if he was always thinking about Krishna also, then he would turn blackish, right? And actually the pastime happens also in Radhakund. He was golden in complexion again, also there, and again blackish. And so wonderful pastimes. So he stayed there, but every day he was going to Imlitala, where Krishna had turned golden, and he was chanting his japa there, and taking bath in the Jamuna, and then going back to Akrur Ghat. So, well, Akrur, when he had taken Krishna Balaram at the border, and so he was taking bath there, and he saw Krishna the chariot, and he was asking, Krishna Balaram, you want to take bath? Also, and said, no, we're okay. And then he took bath, and then suddenly saw Krishna Balaram in the water. Oh, okay, came also? Oh, you came also? You said you were not coming to take bath, and now you're in the water. But then just looking back at the chariot, they're there on the chariot. And in the water also. So, of course, these are confidential pastimes, but the acharyas have explained for our understanding that Krishna is always in Braj and he's never leaving Braj. And in Matra, that is Vasudeva Krishna. So many things actually to learn, confidential things. And so by constantly engaging in devotional service, being on the proper guidance, and we can learn more. Learn more and more, then everything becomes more clear. And then we can serve Krishna with the proper mood, as explained by the acharyas. So Mahaprabhu then, yes, so finally after 2 months he went back to where he was going back towards Puri. But in Prayag he stopped there and instructed Rupa Goswami for 10 days and told him to write transcendental literatures for the benefit of the fallen conditioned souls and to excavate other holy places. So, and later on then he met also Sanat Goswami in Varanasi, Benares, Kashi, and instructed him for 2 months and told him also to write transcendental literatures and excavate some holy places. So what we are speaking, supposed to speak more about Rupa Goswami, but I mean you have to tell me when to stop because otherwise we'll be here till midnight.
Very well.
There's so much to say. But what is the time now?
It's 8:10.
8:10.
8:10, yeah. So you're suggesting then to have some question and answer session. Is it all right, or shall I speak more? Or
However you're inspired.
so what do you want? Do you want to ask some questions, or you want to hear more? What do you want? Ask questions? Any questions? Yes? Yes. Okay. Krishna. Nice name. Yes. We went to the forest for a little walk today. It was nice. Yes.
Mukunda Prabhu, I have a question in regard to the class and one.
Yes.
I have one question in regard to the class and one question in regard to the worship.
Yes.
So in regard to the class, we are Rupa Nugas. We are
Yes.
members of Rupa Goswami.
Yes.
Will this not automatically set us for the Madhurya Ras?
Yes.
So how the other rasas then come into the picture if by following Rupa Goswami and his Rupa Manjari, we naturally are like directed into this direction.
Yes.
And so the second question.
Well, first we answer the first question. And usually when answering question, then usually I do in detail. So sometimes it takes time also to answer. So yes, we are known as Rupa Vaishnavas, and first we follow Rupa Goswami as practicing devotees, chanting holy names, and then worshipping the deities, and then hearing from the spiritual master, especially about the process of devotional service, about Rupa Goswami's books, and in this way, then you can advance. Of course, Upadeshamrita also is there, and 11 very wonderful instructions, essential instructions are there, and they're also the beginning that we should try to control our mind and senses, which is not so easy, but we should try. And then things we should avoid, and which are not favorable for bhakti, and then things which are favorable, so how our bhakti can become perfect? Satovrite, the association of the sadhus, and sangat tyagat, giving up unwanted association of materialistic persons, even materialistic devotees may be there. Then we may take some safe distance. And then we should be enthusiastic despite all problems which are there in life. We should remain enthusiastic and nishta. We should be understanding what is the goal and firm in trying to attain the goal. But then diarrhea, we should be very patient because it is not so easy to come to the highest level of pure devotional service, prema bhakti. And then Datta karma pravartana, we should follow the principles of bhakti, especially chanting the holy names, Krishna Nam. So Krishna Nam Das, you must be chanting many rounds, right? Right, you're chanting many rounds? Oh, you're humble, not saying much, okay. But the name is great, Krishna Nam. Krishna Nam is everything for us, most important name of devotional service. So hearing this name, I was very happy. When he told me we were going for a walk with Krishna Nam. Krishna Nam, wonderful. So that is most important. But then we have to be in this association of the sadhus. And then other important anga of bhakti is Bhagavad Sravan, hearing. But especially with, as Mahaprabhu used to say, we should hear from the person Bhagavat, the Bhagavatam, the realized devotee who has read the Bhagavatam, applied in his life. So we should hear from such a person. And then Priti Purvak Murti Seva. So we should serve the deity. There is very important aspect also in the devotional life of a sadhaka. And then Dham Vas, residing in the holy Dham. So if one can stay in the holy Dham, that is wonderful. But even actually we can make our house, our place, a holy place by having the deities, by reading the scriptures, hearing about Krishna and Braj, and by chanting holy names, then we are in the holy Dham. And Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada used to say, without Dham Seva, no Nam Seva. So we have to remember the Dham, because where is Krishna? He's in Braj Dham. If you don't remember Braj Dham, how can you remember Krishna actually? How you can see Krishna? So even in Harinam Chintamani, but Thakur has explained at one point that I'm chanting the holy name, I'm transferred to another place, another realm. That is the spiritual realm. And then you can see Krishna. If you cannot see Brajadham, then how you can see Krishna, actually as he is. So that is there. So these are the important links. And so as we then progress, then naturally our Sabhav, our actual inclination towards Krishna will be manifested by the process of devotional service. It is there. Nitya Siddha, our relationship with Krishna is eternal. It is already there, but it is dormant. It is like in the seed-like form. If you have a mango seed, You put it in the ground, you give water, it will sprout and the mango tree. The mango tree will be there. So, but and if you have a cherry seed, you put in the ground, and the cherry tree will come. So and then, by the Lord's arrangement, so most probably most of the devotees, they will be in this Madhurya Bhava, but not all. Even Prabhupada is explained, most of our acharyas are in Madhurya Bhava, but not all of them.
Mm.
So some others may be there in Vatsalya Bhava, and then we can see practically also.
Mm.
In Vrindavan, and many devotees are there, and they have Vatsalya Bhava. And some, they have friendship relationship, they feel very strong. Even we know some devotees, they like Krishna Balaram so much. And so they have this friendship relationship. So that they will be nourished also. No issue. Because the Acharya, who has Gopi Bhav, within him he has also some feelings of parental affection towards Krishna. Everything is there in the highest level. And so parental affection may be there, and then he can give some help also, and then he may direct to a devotee who has that relationship, and even literatures are there in this regards to friendship relationship. And even Bhakti Rasamrita Singh, it is explained by Rupa Goswami. For those who will have that inclination, and that is their nature, that is a relationship with Krishna, then by reading Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, they may feel inspired, and then they try to follow Sudam, Sridam, or Madhumandal, and their devotional service and their mode. So everything is given there. But the majority, for that, they will be in the Madhurya Bhava. But that will take time to come to that stage when that is revealed. So, but if you feel some inclination, then we follow that. And mostly, you see, like even in the beginning, we hear, even like, for example, young boys are there, what they like to hear about Krishna Balaram. Even when I first joined, I like Krishna Balaram very much. I still like them, but if sometimes it changed and I became Radhishyam Pujari. And I'm serving Radhishyam, and I'm more inclined towards that mode. So, but in the beginning, it may be something, but then it may change, so you don't worry too much in the beginning. But then later on, it will manifest, and then the Spirit Master will nourish that and he will help. And then Krishna himself is there in the heart and will help. And the associates are there and they will help. Yes, they're there, Krishna's associates. And the more we advance, then we are not only seeing Krishna, because Krishna is never alone. He's with the gopis, he's with the gopas, he's with Mother Yashoda. So if you're more advanced, then automatically you remember Krishna Smaran Nija Prishtam, Krishna Smaran Janam Chascha Nija Prishtam Samitam Tat Takatara Chascha Koryat Vazan Rajasadam. So Rupa Goswami is saying, Sevasada Gurupena Siddha Rupena Chatrahitan Bhavalipsona Karya Varajavakana Sarata. So these are two verses from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Prabhupada, he has mentioned them in the purport of the eighth slok of the Upadeshamrita. The essence of all advice. That Tanna Rupa Charitadi Sukirtan Smita Kramena Rosana Narsim Yoja Tista Braja Tad Anuragi Jana Nukani Kalam Nait Akanam Itipadesha Saram, the essence of all advice. We should try to nicely chant about, or Tannama Rupa. Tan refers to Krishna of the previous verse. And then so we should try to very nicely glorify Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes, and remember. And following the Brijavasis who have deep love, anurag, different stages of love are there. Prem, we know about prem, Krishna prem. But then sneha, deep affection, and then sometimes transcendental anger, man. And then pranay, and then again after when the transcendental is subdued, even sometimes Maria Yashoda is angry at Krishna because he's naughty, he was stealing something. Then man is there. Why are you stealing? chastising Krishna. But then Krishna is crying, and he's saying sorry, and then she's okay. And then the love is there again, and more strong, and then rag, anurag, very deep love. All the Prabhuji verses have deep love. But then there's bhav and mahabhav, the highest form of love is there by the gopis, mahabhav, which only the gopis had. So that is there. So that will slowly but surely, that will manifest. So that love. And so what was the point, the last point we made? So these relationships are there. And so by hearing about that, and then naturally it will manifest. And so yes, then, so Prabhupada is explaining the purport, Upadeshamrita, that these two verses is quoting. And then first the Sadaka, we follow Rupa Goswami, and Krishna is God. First we have to understand we are not his body. He's God, he's enjoyer, we are meant to serve him. And then later on, Siddharupena Chatrahi, then we can remember Krishna. And Krishna's associates, Krishna Smaram Janam Chasya. Should remember Krishna and then his associates. The gopis or the friends, for Yashoda, we should discuss about this. And then try to imbibe the mood of the Brijabasis. And that has to be adopted ultimately if you want to attain perfection. So that will come naturally. And then, if you incline towards the friendship, then we will remember Krishna, then spontaneously also, then we can remember the Gopas. And then later on, they will manifest also. And their love then will come from the heart of these pure devotees. The Samvit and the Vadini Shakti will come, and then we will attain perfection. So, but in the beginning we need guidance from the Spirit Master. And in this regards also, like in the school, we always have a teacher. In primary school, secondary school, even if you go to university, anyone going to university here? You? Yes, you're going? You have teacher there, professor? Yeah. Even so, you've grown up, you have so much knowledge, right? But then you need a teacher also. And you have to pass the exams also. You want to do PhD, you have some freedom. And even they give you some task or something, or you have a presentation, you're teasing for PhD. You have to study, you have to write something, and then there's examination. And you have to pass the examination. So that is there also. So the professors are there. And so even though on the higher rank also in devotional service, then it is good to have a teacher who is more experienced and can help you to pass the exam so that you can become perfect. But everything will be arranged, you don't have to worry. No, nobody will have to worry. Krishna will arrange everything. So that is okay. Now the second part about deity worship.
The second question which I have is, what is the etiquette in regard to Maha objects we receive from the deities?
Okay, Maha object of the deities, yes.
And garments or the
Right.
ornaments,
Yes.
garments, or
Yes.
this kind of
Yes.
thing.
Yes. Yes, it is mentioned in scriptures that we can accept the remnants of the Lord, Mahaprasad. Mahaprasad, we go in there, right? We chant every day. And we're looking forward to take the Mahaprasad, which is known as Adar Amrit, that is explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the Antalila, one of the last chapter, maybe second last chapter. And Mahaprabhu himself is glorifying Mahaprasada. So the nectar, Adar Amrit, which has touched Krishna's lips. And it's very important and not different from Krishna. So we eat that and we become purified. We can eat the Mahaprasad of Krishna. and we become purified in consciousness. The senses are purified. So then we can accept the Mahaprasad. And then we take the Charanamrit. We bathe the deity every day in the temple. And that bathing water is collected and it is known as Charan Amrit. Charan means lotus feet Amrit because it went over Krishna's body and his feet. That is nectar, that is purifying our consciousness, our existence. So we can take that. And that is mentioned. And then the deity's cloth, the deity's garland we can wear. And even in Vrindavan, for example, we have beautiful Tulsi garland offered to Krishna. Of course, that mostly devotees, they show respect to that. But even for 1 second, you can wear it also. Like we have Kantivala, right? This is also Tulsi. We wear that all the time. And then we offer to Krishna also, then we wear it. And then, for example, the chadars, let's say Krishna's chadar, Radharani's chadar is there. Krishna was wearing, it gets old at some home, then we distribute. And then the devotees can wear. But then, for example, better not to go to the bathroom with that chadar. But you keep it, you can wear it, but respectfully. And so on. Even then sometimes some ornaments are there. They may be worshipped, or you can wear. The ladies, maybe they like to wear some ornaments. Ladies usually have some ornaments. And they may wear also. But again, if you go to the bathroom nicely, better to take it out. And then, for example, but it is important to know the details. Like, for example, also the ladies, they have some ankle bracelets. So sometimes you want to offer that to Radharani also. But then you cannot put at Radharani's feet and put at your feet. Now you can put in Radharani's hand, and she's blessing, and then you may wear it, but not otherwise. So little things we have to try to learn and understand. But the deity's remnants that you can wear, that is mentioned. There's a beautiful chapter in regards to deity worship by Krishna himself, speaking to Uddhav. Uddhav, a great devotee of Krishna in Dwarka. He was a very good friend and of course related to Krishna. He was the prime minister of Krishna in Dwarka because so much to do is there, right? In Dwarka. So Krishna's queens are there and 60,000 one a day. They all have their palace. And so many children are there, for each wife 10 children. And there are so many teachers teaching the children, and so many bodyguards are there. And then other Dwarkavasis are there too, big place. So he was a prime minister. And Krishna, because of course Krishna is all powerful, but still is engaging others also in the seva, and is accepting their seva. And so. But at one point he was thinking that I'm very fortunate, which is true. But he didn't understand who are the greatest devotees. So therefore Krishna sent him to Braj to see, after he had left Braj, for him to see the love of the Brajbasis, Nanda Baba, Maria Yashoda. He went there and offered pranam to Nanda Baba Yashoda. Oh, you're so fortunate. They were crying. Oh, you were fortunate? Yeah, because Krishna, Supreme Lord, was there and you took care of him. You think he's the Supreme Lord, whatever. But for us, he's our son. But even you say he's the Supreme Lord, and if you have a jewel, for example, something valuable, nowadays the mobile is valuable, right? So if you lose it, you will cry, where's my mobile? 50, how much is it, maybe? $1,000? The latest Apple 17 or what? How much is it? The folding one or? But if somebody has and loses, there's one devotee, non-devotee, and rich parents. So in Apple 12, Apple 13 is coming out. He has Apple 13, Apple 14, Apple 15. I mean, every time a new phone, most of the old one just give to a friend or something. If such a devotee is losing the phone, where is my phone? So, but Krishna was there, and they were fully absorbed in serving Krishna. Krishna is Prananath, the Lord of their life. And then Krishna was taken by Akrur. Akrur means no cruel. But when he took Krishna Balaram, the gopis called, your name should be Krur. You're cruel. And usually the gopis, Radhani, they were in front of the elders, they were not showing their love for Krishna. But when Akrur came to take Krishna and Balaram from there, they could not control their emotions. They were crying, now Krishna, Krishna, you can't go. And Yashoda crying, or the friends crying, everyone crying. And one gopi threw herself in front of the chariot. Only over my body, the chariot can go. Pathetic situation, everyone crying. Because Krishna, the most dear object of our life, the Lord of our life, is going to leave Braj. So, and then, of course, then Nanda Baba is trying to console them. He himself was crying. So he composed himself and told Maria Yashoda, and now he will come back, don't worry. And to the gopis also, they were consoled somehow. And then Krishna Balaram, they're going. And they're there, motionless, crying and crying. They could not move. The chariot was already gone. They could not see, but they were still there, standing. What is the use of our life now? Crying and crying. So still crying, Buddha was there, he came, and Krishna was there in mantra. And so telling, oh, you're so fortunate. And they're crying, feeling separation. And then explaining also, is almost the Lord of our life, and he's gone. So how can we be fortunate? If we have something valuable, you will lose it. How we can be fortunate? You're just a foolish child. He told him and he said, oh, I'm sorry. And he realized that his devotion is nowhere in comparison to their devotion. Then he went to the gopis. He had a letter. Krishna has written a letter. And gave to him to give to the gopis. And they also, first he saw Uddhav, also a little bit blackish in complexion, like Krishna. He had a similar dress like Krishna. So they were thinking, Krishna is coming. But then they saw that he's coming and they realized, oh, it is not Krishna. They're crying, Krishna, Krishna. And then he's there seeing their condition and understanding that they're feeling even more separation, their love is even higher than Maria Yashoda's. And so he was supposed to give the letter, but he was very intelligent, very intelligent. Therefore, he was prime minister. He was student of Bhrigu Muni, the spirit master of the demigods. So sometimes they came down. So he thought, if I give the letter, two things can happen. If I give the letter, they will open the letter and the tears will come from their eyes. So if you write the letter with ink, like you were before, even with a ball pen, and it becomes wet, then
Smudged.
and you cannot read. So that may happen, or they're burning in the fire of separation. Another thing could happen, they may touch, and it may just smolder and turn into ashes because of the heat of the feeling of separation. Then he said, I have to read the letter. And he was reading the letter. And he was kind of consoling them as best as he could. And he was staying there for almost 2 months, and every day he was telling them about what Krishna is doing in this way, a little bit controlling. Anyhow, the point was about
Deity worship.
and that is deity worship. We have to remember Krishna and his pastimes. Actually, we can serve Krishna. So the point was, he knew that Krishna is going to leave this planet. So he was crying, Krishna, you're going to leave this planet. What will happen to me? Oh, it is a pure devotee, no problem, but still. Because one chapter has to be revealed in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is Krishna Swarup. And it is there to give some instructions, some guidance to the devotees. So he himself, he gave guidance. So almost the whole of the 11th chapter is Krishna's instructions to Buddha. About Varnashram also, which is important. For the 4 Varnas and ashrams, the duties are of each Varna and ashram, about devotional service, and then one chapter, a full chapter is about worship. And there is also explaining that the devotees, when they serve the Lord, that they can take the remnants of the Lord's prasad and the old cloth also of the Lord, and the old jewelry can be taken as remnants. And there he has also explained that the most important seva to the deities is the bathing of the Lord, which is done after the Mangalartik, and the dressing, the Shringar seva, that is most pleasing to him. So, in this way, we can use the things of the Lord, and that will purify us, that will help us to remember the Lord. So that is good. Actually, I got some tulsi from Shanasan, there's lotus fruit from so we distribute after. So, can I follow with one more question? Sure, yeah.
Perfect question, perfect.
Safe way to discard, for example, old garlands or.
Yes, a safe way. Yes. Previously, like for in India, the system was to put in the holy river. So in India, in the Ganges they still do, but in Jammu it's not possible because there's not so much water anymore. Because they made a dam above Delhi, and the water is not so much, so therefore we cannot do that. Then what you can do, you can put in one place all the garlands, and then afterwards it will be transferred. Then you can use that also as fertilizer that can be used. You can put it in the ground for the plants. Or if you have books, you may bury them, but not burn. Sometimes they want to burn, but that isn't offense. You cannot burn the deity's items, but you should bury. So, and that can be done. And then after some time, it will decompose and it will go back to earth. That can be done. Okay? Anything else? Yes, one question behind. Microphone is there.
Hare Krishna Gurudev, thank you so much for such a wonderful class. I really like the point when you mentioned that if we are not in grudge, we can inculcate that grudge mood in ourselves just by worshipping our deities, reading scriptures.
Yes.
So I have a question related to the worshipping the deities. So when I am dressing my deities, you just mentioned that doing Abhishek and dressing deities is very pleasurable activity to Krishna himself. So what mood I should have in my mind when I'm dressing them? And I myself is a neophyte. I don't even know whether there's something in my half-done seva, like what mood, what thoughts I should keep in my heart and mind while serving them so that I can give some pleasure to them.
Yes. So which deities you are worshipping?
I am Nitai Gaur-Sundar.
Nitai Gaur-Sundar ki?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Then you should remember that you're in Navadvip. And then who's there in Navadvip? Also, we should understand when sometimes devotees they think, we worship Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, but no. We worship Gonitai in Navadvip. That is the highest land, is Navadvip in the spiritual world, and even actually in this world. Puri is Vipalabha Kshetra, which is helpful for developing our loving the relationship with Krishna and the feeling of separation. But the highest realm is Navadvip and of course Braj Golok. And so then we should remember Mother Sachimata, and then Vishnu Priya, Lakshmi Priya, because they're there. And of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for example, when you're cooking, you should remember Sachimata or Vishnu Priya and Lakshmi Priya and think that I'm helping. Of course, as sadhaka, you can remember that Krishna is, or Mahaprabhu is the Lord, and my spiritual master gave me the seva, so by his mercy I can serve. But then a little further on, you can meditate that, because that should be actually there. That another is in Navadvip, and Sachimata is there. Vishnu Priya is there, Lakshmi Priya is there, they are serving. So they are cooking. So you can think that I'm assisting them in cooking. And so then we can also meditate, and there's a verse also there in the Arjuna Padati. Pratashanam Navadi Pedvini Taptivijam Guru Paradatam Smaritanam Purvika. Sri Guru Paramananda Premananda Parapada Brajananda Paradnanda Semanyoja. Radha Samadusam Satyam Sakhi Sangarivasini Tamham Sadanam Vande Madhavasya Vigraham. So first you remember the spiritual master, as you know him. Who's your spiritual master?
His Holiness Krishna Goswami Maharaj.
Krishna Maharaj Ki.
Yeah.
So I know him very well. So yeah, we have a good relationship. Of course, he's similar to me, but just recently one devotee told me when he told him that I'm coming here to Atlanta, to America, then Krishna Maharaj was saying, oh yes, he's my friend. So he's accepting me as his friend. So and so you should remember him. First Guru Puja and then Gauranga Puja. That is a system. But when you do Artik, first the Lord, and then you go down. When you do Puja, first Guru and then Gauranga. So you remember him as your spiritual master, Krishna Goswami. But then you should remember he's there in Navadvip in a youthful form. And he's assisting Mahaprabhu in his seva. That you should remember. That he will be there when Mahaprabhu is going to take bath. And he's accompanying him. And he mostly goes to the Ganges to take his morning bath there. Or sometimes even at home. Then you should remember that Spirit Master is there. And somehow you will be there also in the future. Now you're just in apprenticeship, you're just learning. But once you will be there, that should be the goal. And then you're assisting, that should be the mood. And then if you're worshipping Radha Krishna, then you should remember Lalita Vishaka, you should remember Rupa and Manjari, that they are serving Radharani especially, and Radha Krishna. And then Guru Sakhi is there. That is there in the verse, is there. The spiritual master will be there as a Sakhi. And Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. And most of the Acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying himself, my name is Kamala Manjari. He's a Manjari. Antarananga Manjari and Rupa Manjari. And we chant every day, Guru Rashtakam. Nikunja yuno radike visidhai yayani priya viktira peksaniya tatatri dakshata kivala bharsya vande Guru Sri Charanara Vindam. What is the meaning? You know? The meaning? You know, right? What is the meaning of that verse? You can say?
The spiritual master is very, very expert in the Manjaris of Goloka endeavor to serve Shri Radha.
Right. That means he's a Manjari also, right? Because he's serving there with the other Manjaris. So that is a mood if you have Radha Krishna. If you have Krishna Balaram, then you meditate on the friends. Sudam, Sridam, Subal, who are there. So that is the mood. Ultimately, we should remember these associates of the Lord. That is the proper mood. Okay? Is that okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Any other question? Yes.
Yes, in relationship to Mate's question, so if it, so you mentioned like, okay, someone listening Krishna Balaram and you meditate on the Gopa friends. Like personally at my stage, I may not be, I'm unable to meditate.
Right.
Like, can I hear about them or should we chant
Sure.
prayers or like what would be good during the actual worship?
Doing the seva.
Doing seva.
Yes, yeah, this is true. Good point. It's not so easy to remember Krishna, even while we are addressing the deities. So what you can do, you can chant some prayers. Like for example, when we do the dressing, that's what I did also. In the beginning, when I was worshiping Radha Krishna, Radha Shamsundar Vrindavan, I was chanting so many songs in glorification of the Lord. Yashamati Nandana, or then chanting some ashtakams, or stotram in glorification of Radha and Krishna, which are famous for Gonitaida, Chaitanya Ashtakam, Sachitanaya Ashtakam, and so on. Or this one, Godrum Chandra Bhajan Upadesh by Bhaktivinoda Chandra, by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So then you can chant these prayers or the songs. Goranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sharira Hari Hari Bolite Nayane Bhavira. So you chant these prayers. And so what is the meaning? You're praying. So when I chant Goranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sharira, chanting Goranga, Goranga, one with the hairs on my body stand on hand. Of course, that is already advanced stage. But you may chant while you're chanting, so it may happen in future. So that tears will come. Like Shikshashtakam, you chant every day? You chant before? You chant before? If you have not chanted before, then you can do while you're bathing the deities also. You can chant Shikshashtakam, you can chant the songs. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro Toma Vina Ke Doya Jagata Sansare Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Pavana
Prabhu na pai mera.
We can do. I used to do that also. Now my body is getting older. And then to dress and chant so many prayers is more difficult. Less energy. But I used to chant for 1 hour while dressing the deities. Now I just softly chant the Mahamantra. And sometimes sing some prayers. Glorification of the Lord. Or if that, and if you have chanted a few prayers or songs, then you can just chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Mahaprabhu will be happy. Oh, when you do this, when my seven is chanting the Mahamantra, so you can sing. And that is easier than just chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And that is easier to evoke emotions by chanting these songs. And that chanting these songs, then the mood can come also. If the tears are not yet coming, then they come in the future. The hairs may stand on end in the future if you sing every day. And we chant, so if you chant every day, then one day they may come. So then you can do while doing the seva. Chant some prayers, chant some songs in glorification of Mahaprabhu, and chant the holy names. And then the mood will come. Okay? Oh yeah, you asked, so. But then yeah. So. Okay, anything else? Yes. Sudevi. So remember go this Ashtasakis. So you know the Ashtasakis? Lalita, Chaka, Champakalata, Chitra Devi, Induleka, Sudevi, Rangadevi, Tungadevi, Ashtasakis. So remembering your name, you remember Sudevi Gopi. And you're the servant of Sudevi.
Haribo.
We did a nice lunch today. So, yes, so you can ask the question.
Such a beautiful way you said about the glorification of the Bhagavan.
Mhm.
How there are so many rastas, so many Leela studies. When we go to Vrindavan, there is so many things to see.
Yes.
And when we go, it's normally a very small time,
Mm.
and we go to different places, and our body has limited abilities. We have jet lag and things like that. So we cannot really sit there, focus, stand, and we run up again, come back.
Mm.
And after coming back, we hear about Vrindavan. So I was there, but I could not really focus on the place. And also it is written in our Shastra and have heard many times that we should not stay for a longer time in Vrindavan. And how then we can like commit some of that, because I'm not in that stage that I can take the real advantage of the town. So how we should understand, because when we hear, we want to go there and stay more time. But then we are afraid that if I condition, I may commit some of the
Yes.
other things.
So what to do?
What do you think?
Yeah. So it is good to be in the association of the more advanced devotees when you go to the Holy Dham. They can bring you to the holy places and they can tell about the pastimes of Krishna in the various places. And then actually you will be protected. If you are under the guidance of your spiritual master or an advanced devotee, then you will be protected and you don't have to worry. And then every night actually, or even after if you have, let's say you have duties and after every seva you should beg forgiveness from the Lord for any offenses committed. Even after chanting japa we should may do that. And Rupa Sanatana Goswami has mentioned in Hari Bhakti Vilas every night before taking rest, we should pray to the Lord. My dear Lord, if I committed offense towards you, towards the Holy Dham, towards the holy names, towards any Vaishnava, towards any being, even sometimes you may step on an ant or something. So we should beg forgiveness every night to the Lord, because we cannot beg forgiveness from everyone. So we beg forgiveness, and in this way, so we may be protected. And we may be forgiven if we have committed some offense. As a devotee, we don't want to commit any offense, but if one is under the laws of material nature, there's every chance that some offense is committed. So therefore, we should beg forgiveness from the Lord at night time. So that is mentioned by Sanatana Goswami. So especially then in the Holy Dham, if you're in the Holy Dham, then you beg forgiveness at night time. But even in daily life, it is recommended that you may do. And if you have duties, you should do that. And everyone should do some seva for the Lord and to protect oneself from nama parad, seva parad, vaishnava parad. Every night before sleeping, we should beg forgiveness from the Lord. And then we can say, Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Gaura Bhaktaya Namo. So the Dham is meant to be in the association of the devotees. And it will be easier to get the more benefits. But if not possible, then we pray and you can chant this mantra also wherever you go to different places and chant this mantra. Then you're connected to Guru, to Guranga and Radha Krishna. So then you make them. And then some impression will be there. Because yet is sometimes when you go to Vrindavan, you think now I'm in Vrindavan. But if you're still in the modes of material nature, you're on the surface of Vrindavan. To enter Vrindavan is not so easy. So you need somebody to open the door to branch. There is a spirit master, he has the key. And then you can enter with the help of the spirit master. So it is not so easy to enter the Dham. It is not so easy to be absorbed. But we try. So if you go there, but you don't have to worry, you go there, even if you feel that I was not able to be absorbed, but something will be there. You will get so much benefit. If you're just there a few days only, You'll be so much benefit is there. Even one day there, you get so much benefit. One time there was a disciple participant of Prabhupada's. He was very ill. They went to different doctors, nothing worked. Then they went to one person who had some kind of magic he could do and cure the people. And he saw that devotee and told him, every day you take half a spoon of ghee. Ghee is little heavy to digest. And then he was saying, but I cannot digest anything. And the other devotees with him, he cannot digest anything. What will happen? Then he was saying, don't worry. Even because he had loose motion also. He was eating, everything was going out. Nothing was staying. But he said, you take this ghee every day, half a spoon, 2 times a day. And then really it is passing out, but something will stick in the system. And ghee is a miracle food actually. And then something will stick there, and then slowly but surely will recover. And he followed that and he recovered. So similarly, we're trying to hear and it's going out of our system. We're hearing from one ear is going out the other ear. What to do? Nothing is staying. We heard so much, but still, nothing is staying. This is Shravan Dasha we are hearing, but it's going out the other ear. Because we are not yet receptive enough. The consciousness is not pure enough. But then we come to Varandasha. Varan we accept. It's coming inside the ear and it's staying in the heart. And then comes Smarandasha, then we can remember. Then we can become absorbed. Sampati Dasha. Then we get so much purified that the love will manifest from the heart. So you go to Braj even a few days, something is there, you think nothing happened, but something happened. You cannot notice. But you go a few times to Braj, and then Braj will be in your heart. And then you can never forget Braj. Wherever you go, you will be Braj. So we go, right? He was also in Braj for some time. And right, and then you can always, wherever we go, we see. Went to the forest, we remember Braj. The 12 forests of Braj, we see a river, we remember Jamuna. We see a hill, we remember Govardhan. Like this. And we see Braj everywhere. Okay? Hare Krishna. Yes.
So, Prabhuji, thank you so much for the wonderful class. You mentioned a few books of Rupa Goswami.
Yes.
And one question that always comes to mind, I think many devotees always think that there's so much to read. We have Rupa Goswami, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Jayavadharma, so much to read. So how do we determine what would be a good sequence to go on? Like which books should I read? And after Prabhupada's
After Prabhupada's books, yeah. Very simple, you have to ask your spiritual master. He will tell you what to read. Which books after Prabhupada's books you may read, like Prabhupada is saying, is indicating Brihad Bhagavatamrita. So then you can read. In one book he mentions in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in a purport, and this book, Krishna Bhavanamrita, that the advanced devotees will read. So that we should not read now. After reading Prabhupada's books, you should read like Brihad Bhagavatamrita. There's a book by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Jayavadharma, that you can read, that is very helpful. There's one book, Bhajan Rahasya by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that you can read. And this book, the Stavamala by Rupa Goswami, that you can read. So just prayers, that's very helpful. And then, for example, Yamunashtakam is there also. So that is helpful. And so these books you can read.
Sandarbhas?
Yes, Sandarbhas, these are for the scholars. Sandarbhas. Some other books are there, like for example, because we have to be in branch, right? You can read Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur's Brihanamrita. That is wonderful book. 17 Shatakas, 17 books with 100 sloka each. So that you can read that. You will be in branch. Reading that book. So some books, so the spiritual master, the devotees who are more advanced, who have read this book, they will guide which books to read and which books not to read. And after Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is another book, Ujjwala Nilamani by Rupa Goswami. One time one scholar was there, German scholar, and so he had read all the Goswami's books. And so he was speaking to Prabhupada. And then he was telling, you translated many books. What about Ujjwala Nilamani? Did you translate a book? And Prabhupada, huh? I said, Ujjwala Nilamani. And Prabhupada said, this is from Wednesday book. He said, we have not translated yet. So then the spirit master, he will tell which books to read. So we have Bhagavatamrita, Dhamma-amrita, Stava-mala there. So this book,
Madhurya Kadambini.
Madhurya Kadambini by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Harinam Chintamani by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Chaitanya Shikshamrita by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So these books you can read. So the spirit master, the advanced devotees can tell you. And then when you're more advanced, then you can read some other books also, like which one you're managing.
Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's Harmonist magazine article.
Yeah, Harmonist magazine that you can read. So there are enough books to read. Like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's books are there also. Not Priyam, not Bhajan Buddhism.
Madhu. Raghavartma Chandrika.
Raghavartma Chandrika is there. Prajariti Chintamani.
Prajariti Chintamani.
So some small books. Raghunath Das Goswami, his books are there. The
Brajvilastava.
Stava-mala is there. So also collection of books are there. And
Mathura Mahatmya.
yeah, Mana Shiksha, very important book that we should read. Anyone has any problem with the mind? Okay, Mana Shiksha. Instructions to the mind. Very beautiful verses. That you should read. You must read that book. Yes?
Prabhuji, like many of these books that you just named, like we can't really find them on database. Like, how do we
But Prabhuji said that we can use them after software.
So it's not there on database, but they are available. If you go to Mukunda, you can get books. Even some devotees, they might have them here. And even they're also available actually on the internet that you can also get. You can, you're a smart boy, I'm sure. You have seen database, so you can just type, for example, Mana Shiksha, then the book will come up. PDF, and then you can read that. Okay? Any book you can find now on internet. Google Guru. But still,
Google Guru Goswami.
This Google Guru is their internet or AI, artificial intelligence, but they cannot give you bhakti. They can give you some knowledge, but they cannot give you bhakti. Okay? So, but you can go and Google and you can get these books, but then you should find them. An advanced devotee or servant, take his guidance. Operator is there. You know him? He told me some things also. You know Guru Guru Chandraya? Not yet? We should learn this verse. Okay? We'll chant one more time together. Gurave Gaura Chandraya.
Gurave Gaura Chandraya.
Radhikaya Ikadalaya.
Radhikaya Ikadalaya.
Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya.
Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya.
Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Gurave Gaura Chandraya.
Chandraya.
Radhikaya Ikadalaya. Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya. Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. So previously, the persons in this world, the human beings, they were more attentive, they were more intelligent. They were hearing once and they could remember. You can remember? Not yet.
He is very good boy.
It's good boy. Okay.
Always in Hari
But you
Katha.
didn't tell him yet?
I am a bad boy.
Okay, so you tell him this mantra, be good boy.
Yeah.
After telling him you be good boy. Yeah, you did tell him you're thankful, right? So be good boy. When it's good, you should tell others. So one time is a good boy. Of course, now he's a young man, so he's a good man. Good man. Yeah. So you learn this verse, okay? He will tell you. Okay? And then we'll help you. You go to school, right? You have exams? And then, what?
They're all
They're all over, but next year?
Now he's being a bad boy.
Oh, it's still a good boy.
Forever.
He learned the verse and he's good boy. So then, then you should chant every day. Not that you wait for the exams and now when you recite and get good marks. No. You chant every day morning when you get up and night time before you get exams. And before you chant japa, you chant japa. You chant japa. How many rounds?
like kind of that.
5 rounds, good, yeah. Okay, clicker is okay also. But if your japa is nice too.
You have no at home.
That's
Yeah, at home he does.
But
Yes.
you like stop chanting, right? Okay, good. 5 words, good. Nice. So even before you start chanting, you can chant Krishna Chaitanya, you can chant this mantra before. And before you read every day something,
Yeah, it's fine.
you try. But we keep that song. Yeah, so you can before study, you can chant. Every day before you study, when you go to school, and before the exam, then you get good marks. You become topper. But it doesn't mean you chant the verse and you don't study. You have to study. So you put the mantra, then you get good marks. Another question? Okay, yes,
I'm sorry, this is a little basic question.
that's fine. Basic questions are fine. Yeah.
But
You have to learn the ABC first, right?
Srila Prabhupada often, since we were talking about deities,
Yes.
Srila Prabhupada, there's that quote of it, that if you see the deity as stone, metal, wood, etc., the deities will remain stone, metal, and wood.
Right.
And our senses, like, we're so conditioned and we have such a material perspective on seeing everything. We hear so much about the reciprocation of Krishna. We know, at least I know theoretically, that Krishna is present in deity.
Right.
I've heard so much. There was series on deity worship, like in the reciprocation of deities. And we hear all these pastimes, it's in the head, and then you grow up near the deities. But still, after some time, just because of the eyes, etc., the material conception, the mind, it constantly just circles back to that materialist point of view. So naturally, like, we view them as whatever, stone, etc. Though we
Theoretically, no. But
theoretically,
practically, it's not there.
but it's really practically not there in the
Ah.
heart. I can know, I can tell others, I can make prayers and prayers genuine, but it's hard to honestly sometimes relate even now. And I feel that if I'm seeing now, then Srila Prabhupada says you'll never be able to see it, always in stone wood. So how can we see Krishna in the deity? What are some ways we can transcend that material filter in the eye that just translates everything to something material as a material exploration for everything?
So it takes time. It takes time. So there's a matter of purifying the consciousness to become purified. So as Rupa Goswami said, Utsanishchaitanya Datta Kama Bhavatana Sangataka Sato Vidya Satya Bhakti Prasiddhati. So you have to remain enthusiastic and you have to be fixed in trying to attain the goal, and you have to be very patient with yourself and with others. It will take time. But you remain enthusiastic, it will take time. And just like, so you go to school and to become established or to finish the school, how long it takes? 5 years, right? Then you go to college or university and to become maybe doctor or whatever, it takes time. At least 16 years or maybe 20 years. So others speak of coming to a higher level of bhakti. It's not that you're joining now and after 1 year you get the tears are coming from the eyes and the love will be there. It takes time. It can take 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, depending on previous impressions from previous life. So you're fortunate you're born in Orissa, so that means you have been pious in last life, and you're born in Orissa where Jagannath is residing. But still, you have to continue, and you have to try to advance more, and you have to be patient. And you try to become perfect in this lifetime, but it will take time. And so to see actually Krishna, so as he is, it takes time. But the deity are there because you cannot see Krishna as he is now. So therefore the deity is there, and you can see Krishna. And so you have faith that Krishna is there, but you cannot see Krishna yet as he is because of anarthas, because of the modes of material nature. So therefore you have to be very patient and you keep your faith and keep your enthusiasm, and then eventually it will happen after some time. You become purified in consciousness, the anarthas will be gone, or almost gone, then you come to the platform of Nishta. You're completely fixed and the anarthas are not bothering so much. And then you get a taste for chanting the names, the holy names, you get a taste for serving the deities, and then the hardly anarthas, then you can more easily perceive Krishna for chanting the name. And then, so you can see just like Krishna maybe sometimes partially manifest when you chant him. It's like here sometimes in the winter there's fog, then you cannot see much, right? But you can see something, and you walk, and then maybe sometimes you can only see 2 meters, but then the fog is going away a little bit, and you can slowly see somebody. So now the consciousness is foggy, right? And you can then see Krishna, because the consciousness is foggy. That's the effect, because of modes of material nature, because of anarthas. But the more the heart is purified, then the things become more clear, that far will go. You can see Krishna, slowly but surely. Or another example, if you go towards a hill, or you go towards any hills nearby, is his door open.
Yes,
But the hill is not so big. Okunichi is one hill?
Yes.
Okay, it's high, big?
Not very
Not quite.
Just small diameter. You have been to India? Towards the Himalaya? Yeah, I mean, you're from India, you've been there towards the Himalayas? No? Not really. But you heard?
I've seen from plane.
You can see from the plane.
Like,
But you
like
didn't
the
see
meditation.
that people there, right? So we have heard, now you may go towards the Himalayas and you may come closer, but still you can only see the Himalayas and you cannot see, maybe you can see a house and come closer. You're far, you only see the big hill, Himalaya. Then you come closer, then slowly you can see the house. And you can see some people, but not clearly. You go closer, then you climb the hill, then you can talk to the people. So now Krishna is near, but still far. The more you become purified, then you come closer to Krishna. Then after you can see Krishna, can speak to Krishna. And Krishna will embrace you. But it takes time. You keep on chanting, you get initiated. Initiation is the beginning. Maybe you're thinking now I'm initiated, now I'm perfect. But not, it's the beginning. Give a second initiation. Now we can worship the deities. And you start worshiping the deities, then the reciprocation will be there. And as you will go on, then there will be more reciprocation, and then you will understand this is not just a stone statue. Then reciprocation will be there. And it may come in your consciousness, the deity, or in dreams also. And then reciprocation will be there. And you will understand Krishna is there. And then ultimately you can talk to Krishna. That is a perfection. I mean, even now you can talk, but maybe you're not hearing Krishna.
Hari Hari.
but he's hearing you. When you're praying, when you're speaking to him, he's hearing you. But you cannot hear Krishna, you cannot see. But when you speak to the deities, he's hearing you. And when you're perfect, then you can hear him also. You can hear him play the flute. So you just have to wait a few years. Okay?
Haribo.
It's up, right? Then one part you have to start that. Because then you have to get up early, right? So. Hare Krishna. The Prasada?
Yes.
I don't see these on Saturday.
Haribo. So thank you so much for taking us to Vrindavan. And in your class with so many sweet pastimes from Vrindavan, and so deep and so sweet. And how you started the class by saying how you have read Srimad Bhagavatam 6 times in English and 2 times in Hindi. Is that right?
Yeah, yes, right. Yes.
That's Chaitanya Charitamrita, so many times readings. 12 times Chaitanya Charitamrita. So inspiring to see your sadhana, your realizations of Vrindavan. We're very, very fortunate. And also Prabhu listed like books that you can follow after reading the Prabhupada's book. So thank you for answering all the questions also in so much detail. I really appreciate the point that you are making a point of Uddham and you went all in Vrindavan, Leela, and then showing how your heart is all in those sweet pastimes. We're very fortunate to have your association here, Prabhu. Really. Thank you so much for coming. So let's express our gratitude by loudly chanting Hari! 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 His grace, Mukunda Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada. So we have special Mahaprasada from Vrindavan, so we can come and collect. And again, thank you, Krishna Prabhu, Radha Kripa Mataji, to host the program, facilitate all of us coming together. So let's give them a big Haribol for Okay, let's give them also a big Haribol. Thank you so much. So, if you can come forward, the Mahaprasad. Hare Krishna. Also, tomorrow the program will start at 6:20. Going to be at Hari Prabhu and Radhika Mata's house. So please do join us. That's in Holy Spring. Please do join us tomorrow for another Hare